Well, hello everyone. Do you know, I do think I'm so lucky living in the countryside because it means I have so much more meat off ration at my disposal in the kitchen than many of my friends who live in towns do. I do keep my own rabbits out in the backyard, and being a member of a rabbit club means that I can purchase £7 of rabbit food every 3 months. But they're too young at the moment. The government does insist that half of the rabbits that I kill have to be sold to be in the nation's food supply, whereas a rabbit such as this, running wild in the fields, costs me nothing to keep. It is a delicious coupon-free meal. Now, I've been very lucky. My neighbour went out yesterday into the fields and managed to bag 5 wild rabbits. But of course they can't eat 5 rabbits in a week next door, and so he's brought one round to me. I've given him a little bit of my sugar ration in exchange. So I'm just about to start jointing this rabbit, to pop it in some salt water to soak it for a good while before I cook it. Now, for those of you who may be a little squeamish, I have already skinned the rabbit and taken its head off, and I'm now ready to cut that into some good sized pieces for cooking.
On the farm every Friday, on the farm it's rabbit pie day. So every Friday that ever comes along, I get up early and sing this little song. Run rabbit, run rabbit, run, run, run. Run rabbit, run rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, 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 rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't give the farmer his fun, fun, fun. He'll get by without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Now there's my rabbit jointed. Now all these bits I'm going to soak into salted water for about 6 hours. I'm going to use these 2 bits, they're rather bony, I'll pop them in my stock pot, but the rest of the pieces I'm going to cook in a stew overnight tonight in my hay box. I've got a very busy day tomorrow, and if I know in the morning that our supper is cooked, I can let it cool down in the pantry tomorrow morning and reheat it for supper later on tomorrow. So I've finished soaking my rabbit. I've rinsed it off, drained it in a colander, and I'm now going to cook it. You really need to know how old your rabbit is before you cook it. Try squeezing its head. If it's a young rabbit, it will give easily. If it's an older rabbit, it will be hard to squeeze the head, and that means it's really only good for stewing. If it's got long protruding teeth though, it's too old to eat at all. Now my rabbit's not a young one, so I'm going to give it some very slow cooking in my hay box overnight. First of all though, I'm going to coat it with a dessert spoon of flour with a little seasoning, some salt and pepper mixed into the flour. Now take your rabbit portions and just pop them, coat them in the flour, pop pop them on another plate until you've coated all of them, and then we'll fry them off in our pan in a little bit of dripping. 1 ounce of dripping should do. And there's our rabbit portions. I'm going to take them over to fry them off in a minute. I've been picking my last winter growing spring onions, and I'm going to chop them up into pieces, and I'm also going to grate an apple. Now there's the apple grated too, and I'm going to take the apple and the onions and that floured rabbit over to the range to fry them off. So I'm popping into my pan 1 ounce of dripping to melt, and as soon as that's hot I'm going to pop the rabbit portions in to fry them off. When they're lightly browned, remove the rabbit portions from the pan . And then add the apple, the spring onion, and stir with a dessert spoon of curry powder until they're a rich brown colour. Now replace the rabbit joints and add enough stock to almost fill your pan. Bring it all up to the boil and then simmer very slowly on your stove for 40 to 45 minutes. Having simmered for 40 to 45 minutes, bring it back up to a fast rolling boil. Put the lid back on and straight in the hay box for 5 to 6 hours. In it goes. And I've already popped in some porridge to cook overnight too, to be ready first thing in the morning. Oh, I
really could have done with an extra hour or two in bed this morning. Now it's so early, I didn't want to wake you, but here's the rabbit curry out of the hay box. The meat's just falling off the bone, and I'm going to pop that in the pantry to cool. It will need thickening a bit tonight when I reheat it, but I'm really looking forward to this rabbit